What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Monday, May 2nd, and we're going to be talking about what happened during the minting phase on April 30th, which was this past Saturday. We're going to be talking about how the minting phase happened. We're going to be talking about the results of it and a lot of frustration around the minting stage as well. And we're going to share a lot of different beliefs and experiences from other people to share with you what really happened. But also, we're going to dive deep into the numbers, how many sales there were, how you can get great deals in the secondary marketplace. Now, stick around to the very end because there's another project that I think you guys should definitely look out for, an NFT collection that has a similar path to Bored Apes. Now, guys, be sure to watch this video throughout its duration, and as always, be sure to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join our Patreon page, and most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So let's get right into the nook and cranny because we got a lot to cover, but I'm going to get through this video fast with you guys because it's really important to understand what is to be expected. So first, let's go ahead and address this. Now, we do know that on Thursday or Friday of last week, they had announced from the Yuga Labs that these Otherside Meta lands will be for sale for 305 APE. That's around $6,500, which could be around 2.5 ETH or less. Now, there's a lot of speculation around the Dutch auction, which was the original announcement, but later on they officially announced that they're going to screw it. They don't support a Dutch auction, so they're just going to do 305 APE as the base price so that people won't have to go through gas wars. Did that go according to plan though? We'll see. Now, if you didn't know, this was actually kind of a clue. 305 was actually on the trailer. It was on the billboard in the trailer, and we just didn't see it coming. But obviously, now it's confirmed 305 was the actual fixed price. So there you go. Just a little nook and cranny for you guys to understand. Now, a couple people from Twitter had mentioned this on their feed, and this was building up to the minting stage. This is on Thursday or Friday. So Tenacious would say, only 6,300 wallets KYC'd and have APE. We are making it to the wave 3. Right? So again, you can't take what other people say because this actually did not play out. Now, next up, we also had Crumbs, who also said this. Now, this was just on the day of. He said the total KYC and approved was around 35,000, which is a lot higher. Now, these are the different type of wallet holders who have a certain amount of APE. So this is the amount of APE tokens, and this is the amount of holders. As you can see, there's a lot of built up. And for the fact that there was 6,000 people with around 1,200 plus ApeCoin, that's kind of a lot. So the total mintable in the first wave was around 65,000. And considering that, only 55,000 really was available to the public to mint for the KYC process, it's not a lot. And considering that we were allowed to mint only 2 in the first stage, it just seemed like the numbers were actually stacked against us. And when I signed up to mint, now this was just a couple seconds after I was approved, and I was notified that I can mint up to just 1 land. And that's because I didn't have enough ApeCoin. I only had 305. So immediately I went to speed up that transaction to a high. And this is going to be something that you're going to laugh at because I literally had sped it up to $128. And I did not get that $128 back, so that was actually a loss. But if you think that was bad, when I was able to speed up the transaction within seconds of minting, well, it actually went up to the thousands. In fact, it went up to $6,000 more in the gas fee. Now, we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about all of that. Now, this person said, Degentraland said, Yuga Labs failed, just like my transaction. So, oh my gosh, what did that mean? Now, Apewood said this, 100 million will be lost to gas on this Otherside mint. To put it into context, that's enough to give everyone in the US $1 million. So it is possible that you can lose your gas fee because of a failed transaction. Quit said this, I assume I am an average user. This drop cost me, and this is true, 2 ETH in gas, 2.5 hours of my time I could have spent with my family. Immeasurable stress and frustration. Now, if you guys did not know, a lot of people were waiting seriously up to 2.5 hours. And 2.5 hours, the reason that's the important time code is because that's when we found out at 2 hours and 30 minutes that everything was sold out. So we literally waited to find out it was sold out, and there were still people having pending transactions, meaning that they didn't close. So why didn't our transactions close? Well, it wasn't until like an hour later that people started realizing, oh, I just lost my transaction fee. You know, for people to lose 2 ETH in gas, I mean, that's almost $6,000. That's a lot of money to lose for something that did not go through and you didn't get anything to mint. And other people felt that way too. Obviously, you can see from here, Yuga Labs didn't realize they were still doing a Dutch auction. It was just a via GUI and not a price. So obviously people were not happy about it. Yuga Labs actually apologized for that. They said, we're sorry for turning off the lights on Ethereum for a while. It seems abundantly clear that ApeCoin will need to be migrated to its own chain in order to properly scale. We like to encourage the DAO to start thinking in its direction. I think it's because they realized, and they knew that gas fees were going to be crazy. They knew that they were going to be gas wars, so they tried to mitigate how many people were allowed to mint. But still, even with that, a lot of people were still mad at them, and now they're trying to switch over to their own chain, which is very interesting. Now, this is in response to them. Quit said this: Yuga's apology reads as if they feel like they did nothing wrong, and Ethereum is to blame for the mess tonight. Meanwhile, they had poorly optimized contract to the point of negligence. Allowed 2 mints per wallet amongst 40,000 wallets that had pre-approved ape for mint. And that's the problem. Like, if you are KYC, you should be allocated those things. You should be allocated those lands. It seems like they did not do a good job of, you know, allocating the amount of lands 2 per person and just limited it at a certain amount of people. If it's 2 per person and there's only 55,000, they should have done that math, and it should have been kind of like a whitelist event or, you know, a raffle of some sort. In fact, if they just did that, they would have avoided people losing a lot of money, a lot of gas fee money, 2 ETH at least. And Apewood said this: it's okay to be frustrated around the gas war plus some of the surrounding points there, but let's be clear, it's not 100% Yuga Labs' job to pump your bags. Develop your own plan, buy what you think is cool and can develop a story around. Manage your risk plus time on the horizons accordingly. Now, that's a good point. You know, when we were part of this, we had to realize, are we willing to spend thousands of dollars on a gas that we're willing to lose? And Yuga Labs did a good point of pointing that out. I was willing to lose $128 just to risk it, and luckily it wasn't thousands of dollars. So I luckily was very fortunate there. But this is how we can't be blaming people all the time. Yuga Labs did make an article out there trying to do its best. But again, we do have to understand the frustration of people losing all that money, and that's not cool. Now, this is the highest ETH volume in a single day, and it happened to be that other deeds had the highest single volume. Now, it's already broken the record for the most OpenSea ETH volume in a single day, and it's only been trading for 9 hours. And I do expect that this has actually surpassed that at the time of this recording. Now, overall, just yesterday, Watcher Guru said this: Justin, Bored Ape Yacht Club's ecosystem has surpassed 1.1 million ETH, which is around $3.1 billion total secondary market sales. That just goes to show you that people are buying not just the land, but also the Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, and Kennel Clubs. Now, one of the plus points of seeking land, getting the land, and this is what people wanted, is not just to get the land, but getting a land with a coda on it. And as you see here, the coda designs are featured in the lands, and people have been actually scooping them up in their lands. So really, the winning side isn't the lands, it's getting the coda that was put on the lands. And people are really excited that they have had that, because right now there are people who are selling these codas for around 29 ETH, maybe less, maybe more, but the last time I saw, someone sold it for 29 ETH. That is astonishing. But yes, people are happy about these codas, and if you have a coda, please leave a comment down below of how proud you are of receiving this on your land. Proud of you guys. Good job, everybody. And on top of that, the secondary sales were obviously going to drop right after people were minting, and that they're going to be a surprise reveal once it's on OpenSea. And now those other deeds for the other side are now listed right now live, that you can look at and browse to see if this is something that you still want to buy into. Now, if we look at the floor price, it's actually 4.2. Now, this is one of the most exciting things for people. People had around 2 ETH, and they also had sacrificed around 2 to 3 ETH for gas fees. So that's a total of 5 ETH. Now, if you didn't spend anything, if you didn't even participate in the minting stage, you actually could have scored yourself some land. Yes, you would have risked not being able to get a coda, because a lot of these lands that are for sale right now don't have codas on it. But if you were patient enough, and this is something that I think it's a lesson for all of us to learn, is that you just wait for the secondary market to come by, and these prices will go down, because no one wants to have something that doesn't have a coda on it. And I actually think that this price can actually go down to maybe even 3 ETH, hopefully even 2.5 ETH. I mean, when I say hopefully, it's because I want to buy one myself. But you can actually buy these lands right now for much less than what you could have participated in back in the minting stage on April 30th. So at least now you know where you can buy it, and if you want to buy it, it's here for sale. So make sure to plan accordingly and plan your budget accordingly. And also, let's not forget, there's another 100,000 lands are going to be for sale later. What does that mean? Why are there 100,000 sales later on? Because we know that there were 55,000 sales that were happening for the minting stage on April 30th. Then there's an additional 3,250 for board and mutant ape holders. But what about the extra 100,000? Maybe it's going to be for these guys. Maybe it's going to be reserved for holders of Cool Cats, CryptoPunks. What about these Vox creatures, right? Or Meebit, sorry. I apologize. These are Meebit creatures. But also World of Women as well. So keep that in mind. There's a lot that is going to be announced later on down the road, but don't feel like you need to ape in just now. Again, patience is really key in this game, but also doing your own research is really important. Follow the community, follow what the trends are, and if there's going to be an upcoming sale. But if you own the World of Women, maybe that could be good. Maybe if you own a Cool Cats, that could be good. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think Abe would put this into a real good perspective. He said there are currently 100,000 Otherside other deeds and another 100K to come later. To put this into the real world context, that is 200K total via the addition method of math. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot more coming soon. We just don't know yet. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up. Now you guys are staying at the end of this video because there is a collection that I'm going to bring up tomorrow in my next video. And it could be the next new Bored Ape. And what do I mean by that? And that is this, OK Bears. Yes, this is a collection that is on Solana, but guess what, guys? This went from minting at 1 Solana or 1.5 Solana. Now it's reached up to a floor price of around 91 Solana. Now there's a lot of different collections here, which you can either get here on OpenSea or you can get a Magic Eden. But as you could tell, there's been a lot of volume going on here. And I do think going from less than 1 ETH to going above 4 ETH is pretty crazy. So guys, keep that in mind. And don't forget, this is a collection that is not under the radar. This actually reached a #1 spot at one time, but now is on the top 4 in the total volume, both on Solana and Ethereum. So that's kind of huge, considering that this price right here is around 90 Solana. It's much cheaper than the Bored Ape or Mutant Apes. So is this something that you want to buy into now? Well, we're going to talk about it in tomorrow's video. So guys, that wraps it up. I hope you're excited for tomorrow's video, but other than that, I hope that this video has helped you understand the other side and that we understand your pain. I was there. I lost a little bit of money, just $128, but a lot of people lost other lots amount of money in gas fees and Ethereum. But guys, don't let it affect you. Don't get emotional in this. This is just the kind of the journey that we have. And I know that this is really struggling, but guys, there are people out there that did get a quota and did get these lands. And so congratulations to those guys. We have to be happy for other people as well. Again, this is a space where we're not hating, but we're here to work as a community, right? And educate each other and make sure that we don't go through this again with another different mint, with another different collection, right? So guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we just talked about. Love to hear it. And as always, be sure to like up that button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching Cryptolution. Register on our Patreon page for our insider training tips and more. And don't forget to click on the affiliates link below to receive sign-up bonuses and access the Global Crypto Assets Exchange. Invest safely, and we'll see you on the next episode of Cryptolution.